Olivia Newton-John. Olivia Newton-John making a few more quid for poor old Elton John. Extraordinary, isn't it, how some careers bite the dust. Here was this highly talented and successful scriptwriter, author and actor with innumerable popular television credit. Then he stars in a film about a pig. And now he's co-starring with a tank full of goldfish. One of them's called Wanda, and he's called Michael Palin. If you're wondering, they've returned the flowers to the funeral directors.
Yes, they've shrunk slightly, haven't they? It's like a smaller one.
Well, we're cutting back.
Absolutely.
First with a pig.
Not on Suits, I see. Not
no,
on
no,
Suits.
no. This,
oh, no.
This old thing.
No, the suit I'm talking about. Enough gay banter.
Oh, honestly. First a pig,
yeah.
Now a goldfish.
Oh,
Never act with animals and children. I mean, for goodness sake.
Oh, I find animals much more easy to deal with than humans. Yeah. You don't have to worry about how big their caravan is, or whether they've got the, the matter sort of right chair, with a fish. You just have to talk to them occasionally in the morning. Hello, love. Fins are looking nice. And they were wonderful fish. They were ever so nice. Absolute delight. Sweeties. Absolute sweeties. Knew their lines, just straight into the water. Swish, swish, swish. Lovely. Absolute first time every time. See, the human beings on the film, disastrous. I mean, Cleves, well, say no more.
He had a few hard things to say about you on this show once, hadn't he?
Did he? I don't watch every show. I must have missed that.
Oh. Well, I've seen your film.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for your film.
It was all right. In Wanda, you played Ken Pyle. Ken Pyle.
Ken Pyle, yes,
pathetic.
That's right. Yes,
He's a pathetic character.
Well, I don't think so. I think he's rather a noble character. I mean, his trouble is he's an animal rights liberationist. Nothing wrong with that, except he does end up killing rather a lot of animals.
That's right.
But this is just an error of, I mean, for the best reasons. He's really basically a jolly decent sort of chap.
And he's got a terrible...
He can't talk properly, he can't see properly, he can't walk very well, but, he's got a heart of platinum.
Did you find the stutter difficult to master? Because he's got a really bad stutter.
Well, it's a stutter... I mean, John first approached me about the part and said, I want you to play the part of a gang member in this film, and at a certain moment in the film, you have to reveal, you're the only person who knows the vital piece of information as to where the jewels are. And because of all the pressure you're under at that particular time, you actually cannot reveal this because your stammer gets so bad. So, I mean, I had to sort of make quite sure that the stammer wasn't just a sort of like a joke element you can bring in every now and then to get a laugh, but that it came from the character himself. So he just built up this character who was terribly, full of thwarted ambitions and repressed hopes, and was really bottled up. And he was perfectly right most of the time, but as he put under more pressure, the stammer became worse. So by the end, he actually really cannot tell John in this particular scene the vital piece of information for hours, it seems.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it's the most lines I've ever had in a film, but the fewest I've ever finished.
It's been a huge success in the States, the movie.
Yes.
But have you had any trouble with Stammerers Associations?
Yes, an outfit called the National Stutterers, because in America it's called stuttering, here it's called stammering. I don't know. The National Stutterers Project actually got in touch with me, but I said to them, well, my father, who I spent 34 years of my life with, had a very serious stammer, so I know about stammerers to a certain extent. But they wanted me to sort of make a public confession that I knew nothing about stammering and I shouldn't have played the part in the first place. Yeah. But I mean, the thing is, he's a petty crook who happens to have a stammer, not a stammerer who happens to be a petty crook.
And you'll be up here as soon as the film goes on general release for cruelty to animals, because you do see off a few.
I do see off a few. Well, the dogs do get... One of the dogs gets squashed rather nastily, I must admit. But it's not a real dog, Tell. It's not a real dog.
Well, I don't know. It looked like a real dog to me.
No, Tell. It's a little lump of fur. I mean, it's like a sort of like elongated toupee on 4 legs.
Are you sure of that?
Yeah. I swear, Tell. I mean, all right, we did rehearsals with real dogs, but I mean, on the take, it was just a little bit of something you'd use like a draft excluder, something like that.
But you do get yours, because there's a wonderful scene where you get what many people who know you have seen coming to you for a long time. So
Especially after this program.
let's have a look now at this from Wanda.
What's happening? Well, Ken, I'm going to ask you some questions while I eat my chips. First, who is the philosopher who developed the concept of the Superman in Also sprach Zarathustra? No? That's a chip up the nose, I'm afraid. Friedrich Nietzsche. Next, in which book did Nietzsche claim that almost all higher culture is based on cruelty? Are you thinking, or are you in mid-stutter?
No. Bad.
Oh, yeah, good and evil. I guess I'll have to ask you an easy one, huh, Ken? Okay, let me think.
Where are the diamonds?
What was really distasteful about that is that second chip had tomato ketchup.
Yes, yes.
How'd you get him to stay up there?
It wasn't real tomato ketchup, it was stage blood, actually.
Oh, was it?
Well, the chips were, I mean, if you ever tried, and I don't advise people at home to do this straight away, putting chips up your nose, they'll just sort of crumple and curl and come out again. It's rather unpleasant, you know. So they made special chips. And in order to make them strong enough to actually go up my nose, I think they made them of some sort of granite substitute. So when they went up the nose, they actually almost cut into my nose. So they removed the chips and covered them in, and this is where it gets rather specific, so if you turn down the sound, covered them in Vaseline on the end. So these lumps of granite with Vaseline went up each nostril. Now that was fine, except that during the take, I could feel the chips actually beginning to descend. And it's extremely hard. If you can get the chips up the nose, that's a step forward. If you can retain them, then you've got a part in the movie, because that was the most difficult thing. So all the terrible agony in the part, you know, and this man sort of having an awful time, is actually me trying to retain chips up my nose.
There are other embarrassing things. John Cleese taking his clothes off.
Oh, love, absolutely now. All the time, you know, it was waiting for the big nude scene, wandering around, you know. This is what I'll look like. Oh, just all the time. You know, he would strip off just in script read-throughs, you know, just he'd said to get us used to it, but, you know, it's shameful. I think one of these days he'll pay for it.
Would you ever take your clothes off in the cause of art?
No.
Not now, no.
No, I don't do it for... I only do it for money.
Well,
no.
That's the way.
That's the
British way,
yes.
isn't it? Yeah. Well, look, will you hang on a bit? Do.
Yes.
You're not going, are you not planning it? No,
well,
please.
I've someone to see later on.
Right, so just hang on then for a moment. Just go... Well, please, honestly.
Fine.
Thank you.
No.